Listen, man, as somebody that's had to really look at that gas meter and think to themselves, because in the UK it's a bit different from the US, right? In the UK you pay you pay almost credit for your gas, right? And when I was living in Scotland, little known fact about the boy is that there were times I did have to make that decision about, okay, how low can this gas meter go? How low am I gonna let this thing go? Sometimes it'll hit you with that click and you're stuck in the dark, right? And that's the reality of a lot of people that are in the UK right now because of soaring prices. So this Enough is Enough campaign, which is the Don't Pay movement, has been making a whole lot of headwaves. It is essentially a civil disobedience movement protesting the soaring costs of gas and electricity prices, and so people are demanding that these prices be reduced to affordable rates. It is said that by October, the beginning of October, people will not pay their gas and electricity bill whatsoever. Again, I love speaking to you about this because you do organize communities and you do organize protests, and we've spoken about protests a few times on this show. Would you or would you not pay your gas or electricity bill as part of a protest?
I would for sure not pay my bill as part of the protest. I wouldn't even need that many people to join me. Don't pay looking for $1 million. If I had a good 300 people that also was down to say we done with this, I'm rocking for sure that. But this is bring up the interesting question that all organizers faced is, okay, if we can get everybody together, cool. And if we get everybody's attention, awesome. And then what? You know what I'm saying?
And then what?
And then what? So I feel them, man. This year, this says the stats are showing that many households in the UK will see an increase of nearly 1,800 pounds. That's about $2,200, about that much in their annual energy bill. That's crazy, right? I would be in the street too. So I think we're at what? They're at about 100,000 people have pledged to cancel their direct debit payments for October 1st. And I love to see people coming together. But what is the response has been, at least in the media, and you know you can't always trust the media, but what they're saying is that these people are still liable for prosecution, right? They're still liable to have debt collectors sent out of them. There's just because you have a whole bunch of people together, that doesn't mean that, you know, stop paying your bills, there won't be any consequences. So I guess my question looking at this is everybody down for those consequences? Or are people just thinking, like I was just saying, there's enough of us, they can't debt us all. And I don't know how true the logic is.
Yo, the UK government is so gangster. They put out, and they made it a point. They were like, yo, look, don't. Do it if you want, but definitely don't. And part of the reasons of why they're encouraging people not to do it is because, and I'm reading this straight from www.gov.uk, we're getting this right from the source. The repercussions can include make you bankrupt. They said that. That's verbatim, quote unquote. Take you to court, close down your company, take money directly from your bank account or building society savings. Take things you own and sell. They're putting out direct threats. We just covered hip hop, and these are shots that they sending folks, letting people know that we will be on you if you don't make these payments. So, you know, it is a bit of a tricky protest because there are real life ramifications that come from it. But then the question is, until there are ramifications, is it in fact a worthy protest?
Oof. I guess it depends on what you mean by
blood
worthy.
alone turns the wheels of history is the quote that comes to my head. Blood alone turns the wheels of history.
Right. So I feel you, but I don't know if all 80,000 people that are signed up, or if they do reach their 1 million, will be that down for the cause, right? There's always a point in the struggle where you find out how down for the cause everybody is. But they might have a little bit of time on their hands, right? Energy suppliers, if they do decide to disconnect people for not paying, they got to first contact thousands of people, however many people decide they don't rock with it, about the possibility of disconnecting supply, but they have like a 28-day wait period before they can start reaching out. They have to give folks a chance to set up a payment plan. So I guess the hope is that we can bury them in administration while people don't pay, and that they'll be forced to negotiate from the perspective of not being able to, they're hitting their pockets and their pockets hurting first before they're able to get any money or start any legal proceedings to get money from the people that aren't paying.
So
my take? Go ahead.
Hit me with your take. I'm interested to hear what you guys say.
I mean, my take ain't surprising. My take is power to the people, right? My take is always going to be power to the people. But you got to, like, it's cool, right? If you get 1 million people behind anything, if you have the right structure at the top, you can pivot in a productive way. So I think this is a great first step in organizing. But if you putting people in position to damage their credit and damage their stuff without fully making them aware of not only what might happen to them, but resources and how to navigate it, then I think you might be being a little irresponsible.
Not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. If I'm being honest, I would not. I don't think I'd be able to participate. It would be one of those things that I say, yeah, for sure, I'm going to do. Wait, when are we doing? October 1st? For sure. What do I sign? Definitely put my name on there. Come October 1st, I'm a watch with the lights I got on what's happening from the comfort of my household. And that's not me crossing the picket fence. But I do think that something you like to highlight on this show a lot is the many different ways that one can participate in a protest. It doesn't necessarily have to be very front line about it. There's a lot of attention and noise that we can put up in order to raise awareness on a situation. Now, I think this falls very much in line with a lot of the other protests that we have seen coming in from the UK. So the UK is going through a moment right now where they are confronted with very, very high living costs. It's not just a UK thing alone, though, Miles. It's not just a UK thing alone. The world over is experiencing a significant surge in inflation. Everything is getting very, very, very expensive. Gas alone went up by 43% this year.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about that, Mr. Energy Man. For those of y'all who don't know, Zwe is a world-renowned energy analyst. All right, he's at the top, the cream of the crop when it comes to energy. He's spoken at many conferences. You know what I'm saying? He's the big boss dog when it comes to energy. So, Mr. Big Boss Dog, may I ask you, how do we have these record profits for these energy companies while people are struggling to pay their bills? How is that not just pure greed, Mr. Energy Man? What's going on?
First of all, like you said, Big Boss Dog, and then keep referring to me as Energy Man. Dude, this sounds a bit. Yeah, I feel like you're coming with a little bit of spice on that, but I'm gonna allow it for the sake of the conversation.
You built me up, man. I'm just trying to build you up back.
Look how you build me up, Mr. Energy Man. How y'all making money? Look how my friends build me up.
Nah, we mad. We ain't trying to pay these bills, son. Explain.
I don't have the keys, but like how the prices have been soaring is that obviously we went through this COVID period. Now, if everybody can remember, that's such a real good question, because there was a point in time when everyone was like, gas, fuel, diesel has hit $0. Crude oil hit $0. What does that mean? Does that mean that it's free? It's hit negative dollars. You know, there was that whole period of confusion around the figures and what's happening. So what needs to be appreciated about the situation at the moment is that with everything increasing in pricing, there's going to be a natural increase in how much people are reporting on their income. But also, you have a case where we have just come out of COVID, where everyone was indoors, and now that we're starting to see a pickup in people being outside, pickup in traveling, pickup in people using their cars, demand is increasing on that side. We have covered on the show many a times that everything is a cartel. And it couldn't be any more true than when it comes to the energy space. You have, see, now I'm putting my career, now I'm putting my career on the line, giving you all these secrets.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting my career on the line, giving you all these secrets, you know? But you do have organizations and coalitions that form together in order to be able to set the pricing of oil. And once they set that price, that's what it's going to be. And you have pumping regulations where people will say, we're not going to pump anything, let's drive these prices up. When that gets too insane, they'll step back, they'll be like, okay, this has been a bit too high, let's go ahead and turn that faucet on, let's go ahead and ease these pricings down, depending on who can compete and who can't. So there is a lot of politics at play. The situation in Russia is also playing a big part in the energy prices, because a lot of energy, a lot of gas, the longest Russia owns the longest network of pipelines in the world. So when you have that country that's being sanctioned, and within a war, and you know, there's a huge movement to sanction that, there is a disruption in the ability for that gas to be able to make its end line. But I think one of the biggest contributors also to the pricing of these sorts of things, man, is the fact that there's a huge backup when it comes to shipping containers and shipping vessels. So when everything went on lockdown, these shipping vessels were kind of sat idle. And then when things started to pick back up, people were flocking towards being able to, book themselves into those slots. And so there's not enough ships, there's not enough containers, and there's a huge backlog of things that need to happen. And naturally, what the shipping companies will say is, up the price. And that's what we're seeing in terms of almost everything becoming expensive. That's one of those main reasons. So these oil companies, increasing price, increased demand, basic mathematics, cha-ching, and now they're hiding that money, talking about what profits?
Come on, man. So thank you for breaking it down. Appreciate you. I knew you could, with your energy background. I got one more request of you, man. Next time you up on the PJ, passing the shisha to your boys up there, just tell them, come on, man. Tell them ease up on the kids, man. Tell them enough is enough, right? Tell them enough is enough. And if I can snowball us into that little segment of the convo. So we talked about Don't Pay, that's a great name for the initiative, because that's all they say is don't pay your bills, right? But then there's been a kind of a follow-up campaign. I'm not sure how connected the organizers of each one are, but there's enough of enough. Enough is enough, right? And they're also trying to address this cost of living crisis. And they have kind of a more, I don't want to say more organized plan, right? Because I don't want to down talk Don't Pay. But I love it, me personally, when an organization outlines their campaign goals, right? So they want a real pay raise to help people pay for the things that are becoming so expensive. They want a slash in energy bills, right? We're not trying to see record profits while people are really going through it. They want to end food poverty. So that's another thing, addressing food insecurity through a variety of other channels, right? Existing pantries and other resources like that. They want improvements to housing. And they want to tax the rich and big business, right? So those are the kind of the different areas that they're working under. I imagine they have subcommittees organizing around all of those areas. It's backed by Mick Lynch, who's the General Secretary of the National Union of Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers in the UK, right? So they organize strike action across the UK's transport services, and he is running this thing right now. So they're organizing rallies. They're mobilizing community groups to stand together on picket lines to achieve their goals. So I think in addition to the pressure that they're seeing from Don't Pay, this is a dope initiative. You can go follow them, check them out, and see how you can get involved. You can sign their petition, and we can get this thing where it needs to be.
Mick Lynch is putting in that work. Talk about a man who's really for the people. We like to be prescriptive over here on this show. So if you are, in fact, in the UK and are going through a huge cost crunch and are seeing this Don't Pay initiative but don't want to risk your credit or go through that process, there are a few things that you can do in order to help pay your energy bill. One of those things is you can contact your energy company to register to request a new price You can call them straight up, be like, look, I can't afford this. And they're obliged to be able to offer a payment plan that could be more fitting. That doesn't mean it's going to be cheaper, but they might be able to provide a credit plan, a payment plan that you can subscribe to. If that doesn't work, you can take that up with your energy Obudson. These are the days where I wish I could ask my producer how to pronounce that word. But you can take it up with your Energy Obudson, which are independent organizations that have been officially chosen by the government to represent customers who are making claims against their energy companies. So there are organizations that are there to be able to help with that conflict if you're not able to be able to handle that. And you can speak to them and they might be able to help with some form of a payment plan. There is admin in that, but anytime you want to be able to ask for payment pardon or anything of that sort, there will be admin into that, man. So go with that, do with that as you please. I will definitely be paying my energy prices because it's about to get cold over here.
I feel you, son. I feel you. But matter of fact, we best pay our energy bills because it's gonna be cold over here, right? It's not an option in the city. Like when you decide, we're gonna have to pay. I'm gonna need you to chip in on that, Mr. Energy Man. All right, show that.
Actually, I just joined the Don't Pay movement. I would like to put myself as a front line of Don't Pay Chicago. I'm opening up a new chapter. Don't Pay. Mick Lynch, hit your boy up. Don't Pay Chicago. Don't Pay Chicago.